A wealthy businessman named Mr. Gregory lands at the city airport after a long business trip abroad. He enters a taxi, unaware that the driver is in collaboration with armed robbers. His phone rings. It's his personal assistant reminding him about a meeting in 3 hours. The taxi takes a detour. Mr. Gregory begins to ask questions, but before he can react, 2 armed men jump into the moving car. They rob him of his money, jewelry, passport, and phone. One of them says to the taxi driver, "Good job. We'll share the cut later." As the robbers disappear into a back street, Mr. Gregory, confused and bleeding from a blow, tries to run to safety. He stumbles onto the expressway. A speeding car doesn't see him in time. He's hit and flung into the gutter. People gather, but only to stare, take pictures, or walk away. Across the street, a young man named Samuel, dressed in worn-out but neat clothes, is hurrying to a job interview. He notices the crowd. Curious, he crosses the road and is shocked to find a man bleeding, groaning faintly. "This man needs help," he yells. Nobody responds. Samuel flags down another taxi. "Please, help me carry him. We'll go to a hospital." The driver is hesitant. Samuel pleads, offering what little money he has. At the hospital, he signs an undertaking. The nurses rush Mr. Gregory in. Samuel slumps in a chair, unaware that his life just changed. Samuel waits outside the emergency room. Hours pass. He finally sees the doctor, who tells him, "The man's in critical condition. But you brought him just in time." Samuel sighs with relief. He doesn't leave. He sleeps in the waiting area, surviving on water and snacks from vending machines. A nurse, noticing Samuel's dedication, offers him a chair and a blanket. Samuel thanks her. "Where do you stay?" she asks kindly. Samuel hesitates, then whispers, "Under the bridge, for now." The nurse looks shocked. "And you used all your money for a stranger?" Samuel nods quietly. Days pass. Mr. Gregory remains unconscious. Samuel never leaves the hospital. He bathes at public restrooms, wears the same clothes, and spends the last of his savings on medications. The nurses begin to talk about him. Some admire his sacrifice, others say he's wasting his time. Samuel just prays. One morning, Mr. Gregory opens his eyes. Confused and in pain, he tries to speak. A nurse rushes in. "You're safe, sir. You're at General Hospital." He groans. "Who brought me here?" The nurse smiles. "A young man. He never left your side." Mr. Gregory blinks, eyes misty. "Call him." Samuel stands nervously at the door. Mr. Gregory looks weak, but gestures for him to come close. "Why did you help me?" he asks. Samuel shrugs. "Because no one else would. I couldn't watch you die." He adds, "I was on my way to a job interview that day, but your life mattered more." Mr. Gregory frowns. "Why haven't you gone home?" Samuel hesitates. "Because I have no home. I sleep under the bridge. I was saving to rent a room, but I used it all for your treatment." Mr. Gregory stares at him in disbelief. "You gave up everything for me?" Doctors declare Mr. Gregory fit enough for discharge. His personal assistant, Mr. Felix, arrives with a wheelchair and a luxury car. As they prepare to leave, Mr. Gregory says, "We're not leaving without him." Samuel is confused. "Sir, me." Mr. Gregory nods. "You're coming with me." The car pulls into a massive gate. Samuel stares as they drive through palm-lined driveways and past flower gardens. A luxurious mansion stands ahead. "Is this your house?" he whispers. Mr. Gregory smiles faintly. "One of them." Samuel's jaw drops as the gates open like a movie scene. Samuel is given a guest room, nicer than anything he's ever seen. Clean towels, a hot shower, clothes on the bed. Later, he's served a dinner with dishes he can barely pronounce. Maids treat him with respect. He can't sleep. "Is this real?" he whispers into the pillow. The next morning, Mr. Gregory asks Samuel over breakfast, "That job you were running to, what company?" Samuel replies, "G-Tech Holdings. I applied to be an office assistant." Mr. Gregory laughs quietly. "That's one of my companies. A small one." Samuel stares, stunned. You own it. Samuel can't believe what he just heard. You own G-Tech Holdings, he repeats. Mr. Gregory nods with a smile. And several others, in and outside this country. Samuel lowers his eyes, overwhelmed. I was hoping that job would change my life, he says softly. Turns out, you already did. Later that day, Mr. Gregory watches Samuel from the balcony. He didn't help me because of what I had, he says to his personal assistant, Felix. He helped because of who he is. That kind of heart is rare. Felix nods. He deserves a better life, sir. Mr. Gregory sends for Samuel. I'm making you a manager in one of my biggest companies, he says. Samuel blinks. Sir, I'm not qualified. Mr. Gregory responds, you're more than qualified. Your heart qualifies you. Skills, we'll teach. Loyalty like yours, you don't find on paper. A new wardrobe arrives. Tailors take his measurements. A black SUV is assigned to take him anywhere he needs. Samuel begins training at a corporate office with a full team under him. The other staff are confused. Who is he? They whisper. But Samuel remains humble. 1 week later, Samuel returns to his old neighborhood. Children stare at the new car. Neighbors watch him step out in a clean suit. Is that not Samuel that sleeps under the bridge? One woman gasps. What happened to him? He smiles. A miracle found me when I chose kindness. A crowd gathers around Samuel. Are you now working with politicians? Someone asks. Another says, did you do Yahoo? Samuel laughs. No fraud, no crime. He looks around and adds, you all saw the man lying on the road. None of you helped. I did. That's how this began. He continues, that man I rescued? He's the owner of the company I was running to for interview. He's the one who gave me this new life. A teenager whispers, the same rich man we see on TV? Samuel nods. Mr. Gregory. I never knew who he was. I just helped. People who once ignored Samuel now try to shake his hand. I always knew you'd make it, one man lies. A woman who once chased him from her corridor offers him food. Samuel remains calm. He doesn't mock or boast. I've not changed, he tells them. Just my location. Meanwhile, Mr. Gregory watches from his office. He smiles at a newspaper headline, Homeless Hero Becomes Business Executive. He tells Felix, that boy has inspired me more than some CEOs I've worked with for years. Felix nods. Sometimes help comes from unexpected hands. Samuel is invited to speak at a local youth center. Standing before hundreds of young people, he says, I had nothing. I slept under bridges. I was rejected, laughed at. But I chose to be kind. You never know who your kindness will reach. It could open the door to your destiny. The HR manager at G-Tech Holdings finds Samuel's original job application. Sir, she tells Mr. Gregory, he applied to be a junior office assistant. He's now managing one of our biggest branches. Mr. Gregory smiles. Life promoted him faster than any resume ever could. Samuel quickly earns the respect of the staff. He treats cleaners and executives with equal kindness. When one cleaner drops her tray and trembles in fear, he bends to help her. Relax, he says with a smile. I've dropped heavier things, like my dreams once. They still bounced back. A news team shows up at Mr. Gregory's office. We want to interview you and the young man who saved you. Mr. Gregory agrees, and Samuel hesitantly sits beside him. On national TV, he shares his story. Millions watch. By nightfall, social media explodes with hashtags. Hashtag from bridge to boardroom. Back in the neighborhood, the people who walked past Mr. Gregory that day watch the interview in silence. One man sighs, I was there. I walked away. A woman whispers, we all did. Guilt spreads like a shadow. That boy taught us a lesson we won't forget. Days later, Samuel receives a letter, an official invitation to meet the state governor. At the meeting, the governor says, the world needs more people like you. We want to start a campaign, one act of kindness. Will you be our face? Samuel nods, overwhelmed. I'm honored, sir. Samuel sits at a government event, watching a giant screenplay clips of his story. His hands shake. I'm not used to this attention, he whispers to Mr. Gregory, who sits beside him. You're changing lives, Gregory replies. This is bigger than both of us now. Late at night, Samuel returns to the same bridge where he used to sleep. He kneels and whispers, "Thank you, God." He drops an envelope filled with money beside a sleeping man. The man stirs and wakes. "Who are you?" he asks. Samuel replies gently, "A friend who understands." Mr. Gregory visits the hospital to personally thank the staff who helped save his life. "You didn't just treat me, you helped me find someone priceless," he says. The nurses beam with pride. The doctor smiles. "He camped at the reception like your bodyguard." One afternoon, news breaks that the taxi driver and the armed men have been arrested. They were trying the same trick on another airport passenger when undercover police caught them. Mr. Gregory sees the report and nods. Karma never forgets an address. Samuel receives a call from an international charity. "We saw your story. We want to sponsor you for a leadership training in the UK and make you our youth ambassador in Africa." Samuel is speechless. "You mean me?" The caller laughs. "Yes. You, the man who refused to walk away." The mansion staff gather to wish Samuel farewell as he prepares to travel abroad. Mr. Gregory hands him a small leather case. Inside is your full sponsorship and personal card. If anyone mistreats you, show them that card. Samuel hugs him, overwhelmed. "I'll make you proud, sir." As the plane lifts off, Samuel grips the armrest tightly. The cabin crew smile. "Your first time?" one asks. He nods. "First time leaving the ground, and poverty." He gazes through the window at the clouds. "From under a bridge, to above the sky," he whispers. In London, Samuel excels in leadership training. His humility and wisdom draw attention. At a global youth conference, he shares his story. The crowd gives a standing ovation. "You don't need to be rich to make a difference," he says. "You only need a heart willing to act." Samuel records a message for street children across Africa. "I once lived under a bridge, too. But your condition does not define your conclusion. Keep dreaming. Keep believing. Your day will come." Thousands of messages flood in. One boy writes, "You gave me hope today, sir." Months later, Samuel returns home. This time, the airport welcomes him like royalty. Reporters, youth groups, and banners wave his name. As he steps out of the plane, Mr. Gregory is waiting. "Welcome back, son," he says with pride. Samuel smiles. "This time, I return as someone." Samuel meets with Mr. Gregory and a team of advisors. "I want to start a foundation," he says, "for homeless youths, abandoned children, and jobless graduates." Mr. Gregory smiles. "You're thinking big." Samuel nods. "Because small kindness gave me a big future." The launch is grand. Media outlets cover the event. Samuel unveils the Samuel Foundation for Hope and Kindness. Its first project. A rehabilitation shelter under the same bridge he once called home. "Where my suffering began," he says, "hope will now begin for others." Samuel is invited to the state assembly to address leaders. Don't ignore the boy in rags. Don't despise the girl on the street. One of them may be the one who saves you tomorrow. The hall erupts in applause. Politicians exchange humbled glances. Samuel tracks down the taxi driver who betrayed Mr. Gregory. The man is now in prison, awaiting trial. Samuel visits him. "You almost destroyed a man who now saved thousands," he says. The driver lowers his head. "I regret it." Samuel replies, "Then when you come out, live right." Mr. Gregory speaks at a national forum. "That day, I was lying in a pool of my own blood. People watched. They took pictures. But one young man risked everything to save a stranger. Without Samuel, I'd be dead. He didn't just save me. He gave me purpose again." The state governor appoints Samuel as special advisor on youth and development. "We need people like you in the system," he says. Samuel is humbled. I'll serve the same way I helped you, selflessly. His appointment shocks critics and inspires the youth. One of us made it, they chant. Samuel visits local communities, offering support for vocational training, scholarships, and small business grants. One girl, Hope, says through tears, I was about to drop out of school. Then your team paid my fees. Samuel kneels and hugs her. Stay in school. Change your story. Billboards rise across cities. Samuel's photo with the words, kindness is power. Radio stations play his speeches. On one broadcast, he says, when the world gets loud, let your compassion be louder. Listeners call in with their own stories of kindness sparked by his journey. Samuel returns to the hospital where it all began. The nurses rush out, excited. You came back. He smiles. I never forgot. He donates new hospital equipment in Mr. Gregory's name. You saved him, Samuel tells them. And in doing that, you saved me too. Back in his old neighborhood, things have changed. There's a new library, a youth skill center, and solar lights on every street. A child points at a mural on a wall. That's the man who used to sleep under the bridge, he says. His mother responds, and now, he lights up cities. At a charity event, Samuel kneels before his longtime friend and fellow volunteer, Amanda. Will you walk this journey with me, for life? She gasps, tears filling her eyes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. The crowd claps. Mr. Gregory, seated near the front, wipes a tear from his eye. The wedding is simple, yet beautiful. Orphan Samuel once helped walk him down the aisle. Homeless youths line the path with flowers. Amanda's dress is elegant, and Samuel's eyes shine brighter than the lights. From the bridge to the altar, he whispers. God, you do wonders. At the reception, Mr. Gregory calls for the mic. Samuel, he says, you gave me back my life. I'm handing over one of my top international companies to you, Gregory Tech Africa. And I'll be retiring next year. You're the future I prayed for. Samuel and Amanda travel across rural villages, visiting children, donating food, and offering scholarships. The world forgot them, Amanda says as they distribute school bags. Samuel replies, then let's remind the world of their worth. Everywhere they go, hope begins to rise like dawn. Samuel writes a memoir titled, The Stranger I Refuse to Ignore. The book becomes a bestseller, translated into 11 languages. In it he writes, every life matters. Every moment counts. When in doubt, choose kindness. It might not bring you money, but it might bring you your destiny. Samuel is invited to the United Nations to speak on youth empowerment. Delegates from around the world stand to honor him. My story is not just about a lucky break, he says. It's about a moment of choice. That one decision, to help, rewrote my entire future. As cameras broadcast his words globally, Samuel continues, you may not have power. You may not have money. But if you have a heart, use it. The world is not changed by power, but by compassion. Online, his message goes viral. Millions are moved. Samuel visits the bridge again, alone. He stands in silence, then places a plaque that reads, Here lay a boy the world ignored. Here rose a man the world now honors. This is proof that one act of kindness can change everything. Mr. Gregory, older and slower now, visits Samuel one evening. You've done more than I ever dreamed, he says. I thought I was saving you by giving you that job. But truth is, you saved me first. They sit together quietly, looking at the stars. Years later, children visit the Samuel Hope Academy, built on the same land where he once begged for food. A guide tells them, this was once a place of sorrow, but one man's choice turned it into a fountain of life. And across the world, one phrase lives on. Don't walk away. Help. It may be your own life you save. Please, subscribe to African Tales by Helen Gold for more African stories. Comment, like, share, and turn on your notification bell. Thanks for always watching our story.